Welcome back, Caldwell. I hope you had a wonderful Easter weekend, but the Hornets are back in action and we're here to share it all with you on the Weekly Wrap. The classroom update this week comes from Caldwell Intermediate School and the 4th grade science classroom of Miss Tabitha Pipes.
Hi, my name is Tabitha Pipes and I am a 4th grade science teacher here at Caldwell Intermediate. And today we had a fabulous lab and I'm so excited to get to share it with you today. So we have been talking about structure and function and how did we all, organisms in general, even plant, have different structures that help them survive and thrive in their environment. And so the kids were given, they had 2 different kits, and after they finished one kit they would go and do the other kit. And the first kit was about plants and different parts of plants and what their function was. And so they were given like a piece of foam board, a pipe cleaner, a little toothpick, lily pad kind of lid thing, and some wax paper and a little balloon. And they had to figure out what plant structure those reminded them of. So we had, for the toothpick, we had stickers, and they had to identify that the stickers grab onto stuff with their little stickers to help them spread their seeds. We talked about this also could be a pine needle. We talked about it being a cactus thorn and keeping things away from eating the cactus so it could survive. We talked about the foam board and they related it to a leaf, maybe a leaf on a cactus because it was thick and spongy, or also maybe because it was waxy, because we talked about cactuses having a wax coating to keep the water in them, and because they live in very, very dry climates. They talked about the wax paper being maybe some thinner leaves that would float on the wind. And they talked about the little balloon being part of, like, seaweed has these little air sacs and it helps them stay up straight in the water. So they just had a great time doing that. Then when they were done with that kit, they could turn that in, and then they got their beak kit for bird beaks and how different bird beaks are just right for different organisms. And that way not everybody eats the same things, so that we have a wide variety and no species is going to die out because we were in competition with another species for the same thing. So for instance, they had 4 bird beaks. They had an eyedropper, they had a clothespin, they had another toothpick, and then they had some spoons. And they had to take these and test them out in 4 different environments. So we had a pond with floating fish. We had a honeysuckle or trumpeter plant here. We fill it up to about right here. We had a tree that had little bugs down inside of it, and the little beak has to get down inside the bark and pull the bugs out. And then we have some dried pinto beans or something, and they were like bugs or seeds, like little June bugs or whatever. And so we had to test to see which beaks were best for different, environments. So they definitely found that this was best for the honeysuckle, and this was a hummingbird. They identified that as the hummingbird all by themselves. I was super proud of them. This one, they found that the toothpick could pull the cotton out of the tree trunk, and we talked about how the woodpecker has the pointy, so it can get down in there, and they knew about it also has a long tongue so that it can get down in there. And we talked about like your diving birds and your pelicans, and they easily get the fish out of the pond. Some of them were trying to pull the fish up the side of the pond, and I'm like, now is that an efficient way for the bird to fish for its food? And they were like, no. So they were trying, but they would come to realize that a bird that tried to get a fish out of the water with a toothpick would end up dying eventually because it's never going to feed itself enough. And then we talked about how the paper clip was good at picking up the seeds or the June bugs and crushing it because it has a lot of power and a really stout little beak there. So there was a lot of charting and graphing and answering questions and reflecting back on what they were learning with their hands-on activity. They just had a really, really good time today, and I was excited to get to show off my kids, and thanks so much for coming into my classroom for this week's Classroom Spotlight.
Our sports update this week is brought to you by Coach Marcus Escalante.
Hey, this is Coach Escalante. I coach volleyball and softball here at Caldwell High School. I'm here to give you this week's sports update. Also, we have Miss Caitlin Faust. She's going to be giving you your baseball and softball updates for this week.
Hi, my name's Caitlin Faust, and I play softball for the Lady Hornets. This week we had a tough loss to Academy, but we did have some great hits. Kelly Urbanowski and Avery Smith both hit a home run. We will finish up our season this Friday at home against Rockdale, so come and support. Sting 'em.
Tuesday, Sam Waldrip represented the Hornet golf team at the boys regional golf tournament in Brenham, Texas. Both days, Waldrip shot a round of 93. This unfortunately ended the season for Waldrip. Wednesday and Thursday was the Lady Hornet golf team's turn to compete at the girls regional tournament. They shot a 398 day 1 and a 401 day 2. They finished with a total score of 799. This placed them second at regionals, which qualifies them for state tournament in Austin. Great job, ladies. Thursday, our Hornet track team competed at the area track meet in Rockdale. Travis Bossler received first place in the discus throw. Daniel Cowan won first place in the high jump. Daniel Cowan and Jay Mathis placed fourth in the long jump. Caitlin Brock placed third in pole vault. All of these athletes will be moving on to the regional meet next Friday and Saturday, as well as many of our runners. I want to wish all of our Hornets and Lady Hornets good luck on their weekly games and activities this week. Thanks, and sting 'em.
The Caldwell Education Leadership Foundation, SELF, is hosting its fundraiser tonight. It's a crawfish and a shrimp boil. We look forward to seeing all of you there, and we want to make sure we recognize the great work that this foundation does for our teachers and our students.
Hi, I'm Christy Kubicek from Caldwell Intermediate School, and I would just like to thank our Caldwell Education Foundation for all that they do for our students. I myself applied for a grant for Makerspace that all of my students here at the intermediate school are able to use. So please come out to the Crawfish Bowl tonight, because all that money comes straight back into our schools for our kids. Thank you.
My name's Morgan, and I'm here with Hasiel and David, and we're here to talk about the different things that the Education Foundation do to support different classrooms. Like, for example, theater. They're holding a Crawfish Bowl tonight, and through the fundraisers they were able to help us get a grant and help us get these awesome headsets for our theater group. And it really helps different classrooms throughout the school and different groups. Thank you guys for all that you do for everybody here at Caldwell ISD.
Hi, my name is Holly Giller, and I just wanted to say thank you very much to SELF. They do a lot of awesome things for our teachers and for our kids, all the fundraising they do, the crawfish boil. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I also wanted to say thank you for the microscopes that y'all gave me this year. We've had to, kind of use what we've had in the past, and now we've got, first-rate microscopes, and that's really awesome for the kids. And then a few years ago, y'all even gave us some chess sets so we can start a chess club. So I just want to say thank you very much for that.
We want to say thank you to our SELF board members and the entire community for making sure that this event is always such a success. As always, it's been a great week for the Hornets. We look forward to seeing you next week on the Weekly Wrap. Until then, keep it Hornet proud, Caldwell strong, and when in doubt, sting 'em.